Here we are, Tiger 900 Rally Pro review. Let's go. Today we're here to do a review on my Tiger 900, as I said, and so kind of just taking a trip down the road right now, get on the bike. I've been saying I was going to do this review for literally probably a month or two now, but I also wanted more seat time on the bike. I'm just shy of 2,000 miles on this motorcycle, and I think I'm fit to give a decent little review on this bike now. So if you guys don't know, I traded in this motorcycle, or my old motorcycle, for this bike. I had a KTM 890 Adventure R 2022. I traded that in for, I guess, a handful of reasons. I really did love that motorcycle. The only problem with that motorcycle was it was always in the freaking shop. Like, I want to ride my motorcycle, and when it takes out like a good 2-3 months of riding, I'm here in Colorado. Sometimes I don't get much more riding, so if it takes me out for like 2 months because the stupid rear shock went out, and then, well, I brought it in for radiator leak, they go check that, half their staff leaves, so it was partial in the shop, not just the KTM, and then they get some guys to come back and repair it, and guess what, the shock's broke on it, so they have to replace the dang shock or revalve it, whatever the hell they did to it. And this trend continued. I had some brakes, pressure switches, blah blah blah. This isn't a KTM shit on part, but this is how I got the bike, so I'm giving you a little backstory. Alright, so now I go on searching for more motorcycles, and we end up on, boom, the Tiger 900. Tested the African Twin, did not get to ride the Aprilia. I looked at all the different motorcycles, watched every review. Shout out to Big Rock Moto, he does probably the best like technical reviews. And then also big shout out to Dork in the Road, just love the dude's videos in general, and I know he praised this bike in the past too. But either way, watched all their videos, ended up deciding I thought this was going to be my next motorcycle. Went out that day, I have some footage somewhere, I'll probably throw it on here. Rode the Africa Twin, felt big, felt heavy, tank was freaking a colossal tank, it was ridiculously big. Then went to another shop and sat on the Triumph. I like it. I like these backlit switches. It's got a really nice big TFT, like nice readable screen, adjustable freaking windshield. Like, the thing's got a lot going on for it. So take it out, go down the road. This dude's on like a BMW 1000RR in front of me, the test rider bike. I'm like, yo, I want to get on this. He's like, bro, you're gonna be able to get on it, trust me, you're going with me. Dude gets out, gets on the highway. I can't even keep up with his ass. This man just freaking does light speed, and I didn't want to freaking rip on a brand new bike anyway, but I got it up to speed, like, that feels great. And now I ended up with it. That same day I ended up buying the motorcycle. Really easy process. Triumph, I wish I remembered the name, I'll put it on the screen or something. But Triumph in Denver, you guys are great. I don't know why I can't think of it, I've been there like 10 times, but they did a great job. Salesman worked out great. Great dude. And now I've had some, needless to say, happy miles on this motorcycle. Alright, so there's the intro. Now let's get down to the tax. Alright, so now I'm going to talk to you guys first about performance. I wrote down some stuff on here. You guys can see my shit handwriting, probably spelled some stuff wrong, but we're going to talk about engine performance. So just a little background. I've had 6-7 different motorcycles between Harleys. I've rode dirt bikes since I was 4 years old. I've been on VMAXs. I've been on a million different motorcycles, so I feel like I've got a pretty good base when it comes to, hey, knowing how a motorcycle feels, handles, all that stuff, blah blah blah. Just trying to give myself a little street cred before I start telling you guys what to think about a motorcycle. And again, I don't think you should go off what I think. Go out and test ride these motorcycles yourself. So with that being said, engine power, let's start off with that. This thing will rip. I mean, it'll fucking send it hard fucking core. Like, it'll go as fast as you need to go off-road, and it has enough power to do what you want when it comes down to just riding on the road in general. One of my buddies is calling me, that's great. I'll have to forward that one. But it has enough power to get you where you want to go. I feel like this is going to have a ton of power to get if you want to ride with a pillion, so 2 up. Great when it comes to having extra luggage. There's no time or place you need this much power off-road. That's what a lot of people think. If you're going to ride a solely off-road motorcycle and you want to do big trails, a lot of guys have been riding really big bikes. If you're looking to just do single track, this is not a motorcycle to do single track. Anybody that's looking at the 890 or any of this stuff, you guys are looking at way too big of a motorcycle. Look at something like the Honda 450. I mean, personally, I'd stick to Jap bikes after my KTM experience, but any of the KTM 300s, those are freaking badass motorcycles, WP, all that. But with that being said, is it going to be a great motorcycle for doing a BD hour? Definitely. Like, I think this thing, personally, I've seen a lot of people saying something about the front fork rake. I try to measure it myself. I can put the stupid picture up here. I feel like it does have a 20... ow, this guy by a fucking rock on my finger. Dude, that shit hurt. I don't even know how that happened. But it does have a 27.5-inch rake that everyone's looking for once you have your suspension fully adjustable. So there's a big knob. You bump that thing all the way out, and then you set it. Just read the damn manual. There's 100 videos out there to watch it. I get people just want to get on the bike and go. That was like one thing with the KTM. I didn't touch the suspension once, and guess what? I was out there taking that thing on a motocross track, hitting 30-foot tabletops, and the thing felt great. Am I going to do that on this bike? Probably not, and I'll get to that when it comes to the ergonomics. Do I think I could do it? Yes, but there's a few reasons why. I'll just give you one real fast just as we're talking about it. I don't think this thing's going to crash as well as KTM does, so we'll just start with that. I wasn't afraid to let that bike go down because it has a big tank on it. Alright, so back to engine feel. So this bike has a lot different, I guess, feel when it comes to the engine, because guess what? It's a triple, it's not a twin. So in a triple motorcycle, you're able to wind these things up a lot higher. So higher RPM, this thing's going to feel like it has more power. Lower RPM, the big twin thumper, whatever you want to call it, on the KTM might feel as if it's got slight advantage to it. But it's so minute when it comes to the low end. Like, I don't care. Like, this bike feels great when it comes to that. Like, I've taken this thing up some gnarly ass trails. I have some video of it. Sadly, the trail doesn't do justice. It was actually, I didn't turn around. It was just stupid. It was big ass rocks. I was freaking 10 miles in the woods by myself, and I'm like, dude, if I fall down and break my leg on one of those things, and I'm wearing the same crap. I wasn't wearing like full gear or nothing. I'm like, if I fall down out here in the middle of the woods or get stuck or get the bike stuck, I'm gonna be in some for shit, because there ain't nobody out there. Like, I did find some guys that's four-wheelers, but needless to say, they're probably the only people out there. If they left, I was screwed. But this bike feels great. So when it comes to power, it's got a ton. I don't remember the engine specs specifically. I think it was like 106 horsepower or something like that. I know they upped it like 10-15% for 2024, which that's what this is. I mean, the bike feels like it's got a ton of power. So engine feel, I really like it. It's got like a different kind of sound. It winds up, it still sounds and feels throaty, and it's just got like a different, like, high-end kind of run to it, which is pretty awesome. So I mean, the thing's got like quick shifter. So back to power. So like going through the gears on this thing is insane. Like just smacking the freaking road with it. My thing will run. But it's definitely a bike that'll get you where you need to go, to say the least. So let's move on to fuel economy. So you can see the fuel up there. Normally I get around 50. I've been kind of dragging this bike out. I also just put fuel in it not too long ago. So about 50 miles per gallon average, which I think is really good. It's got a big tank. You can get closer to, like, I don't think about getting fuel till I hit around 200 miles on the tank, and then I got another 50 miles to go to find it. So that's been about my average, I guess, per tank. And that's enough to get you anywhere. Like, there's no, you don't need more fuel than that. You don't need a 6-gallon tank. At some point, like, there's no point. You're just carrying around a big tank. Like, you're not gonna find any place, at least in the United States, that you can't go find fuel. Honestly, you could probably do fine with 150 miles, but I prefer to be in that 200-mile range. I think that's a sweet spot when it comes to getting fuel. So yeah, that's like the engine power, engine feel. Let's talk about engine heat. So I've seen a few comments on forums. I'm on all the Triumph forums and all these other things where people are like buying these little heat shields and stuff like that. I honestly did myself at first just because they got me all worried about it. I'm reading all this crap, like, ah, crap, my legs are gonna burn off. I don't ever notice it. Didn't notice it. Rode it all summer, 100-degree days. Like, does the engine get hot? There's a motor between your legs, yes. Does it get too hot? Maybe a little bit sometimes, but not really. It's not enough to make you go, oh shit, this motorcycle is significantly hotter than any other bike I've ever ridden. Or is it the hottest bike I've ever ridden? I don't know. My Harley was the hottest bike. The 110 freaking twin motor that has no sort of cooling system besides the fins. You get stuck in traffic on that thing, your little eggs between your legs are gonna get a hard boiled, to say the least. Like, there ain't nothing to it when it comes to riding one of those bikes. This thing ain't nothing. I just don't think a lot of people have a lot of experience where they just think it's going to be 100% comfort. I mean, you're out in the elements when it comes to this stuff. Like, it is what it is. Alright, we're going to pull over. So this is the one thing actually that's kind of annoying. So you got all these different ride modes, but if you want to go back to street and stuff like that, you got to actually pull all the way over. So I always just leave it in sport. That's fine. Alright, so now I got all my traction control ABS back on, and this thing's going to run perfect. So, again, thing's got plenty of power. You don't got to worry about it not having enough juice. It's also, I'm going to point out, it's 52 degrees right now. I'm wearing my Fox, like, these are my gloves for mountain biking. But heated grips on this thing, next level. Alright, let's get back to what we're actually talking about. So, engine heat, not an issue. We're going to move on to handling stability on off-road and braking. Alright, on-road, this is by far a better bike for traveling. It handles it on tarmac. This thing is like a laser, man. This thing like will keep you going. Like it tracks straight. I don't know. The other bike tracks straight too. Like, I'm just saying, this thing it's the joy to ride on the street. I don't really feel like like these motorcycles, any of the bigger adventure bikes, are going to be like terrible. They're just going to be down to comfort. When it comes to like hard cornering, hard handling and stuff like that, this bike's slightly better, and I think that might have to do with the supposed rake. I don't know. I think they're pretty damn close to each other. Overall, you can set the suspension up on either bike to make it a good handling street bike. I mean, if you're running this bike the way it should be ran, you have knobbies on it, so you can judge how hard you should be riding on the street. I don't think it's I don't think like everyone's tracking this bike. Like, I don't know, I'm not gonna go put a nice set of like Pirelli street tires on here that are gonna make me the best handling street bike, because I want to go down in that stuff. I want to go off the road. Like, that's the whole reason why I bought this thing, is so I can go look, hey, there's a cool little side trail, let's go down there, see where the hell it leads to. Run the bike all the way down the side trail, find something new. I don't know, pop out my little coffee stove thing, maybe make a coffee or something, just have some fun adventures and stuff like that. So that's kind of my thoughts with that. Brakes, great brakes, no issues with them. This thing will come to a stop in like 2 seconds. Just as good as the KTM. I don't think they're anybody who's, unless they're like a complete professional, maybe like Big Rock Motor, they can tell the difference, because guess what? He rides every single motorcycle. He's got to evaluate them. He has to point out minimal differences. That's the thing with these like YouTube people too. Like, if they came out and just said every bike is pretty damn close to each other, like, they have to separate them. They have to give differences. Otherwise, there's no reason to do these reviews. And I get that too. There is, I mean, it's a big difference. And guess what? The other thing with this KTM, I think it fucking looks better. Like, this thing is way cleaner than the KTM. Like, it's got a nice like tank I can shine up. Like, you can make it nice and clean looking. The front on it has that sweet angry looking eyebrow. I wish the DRL, like the light would just do that sometimes, just so I could ride down the road with that on, but it always has one headlight on when you turn the bike on. You gotta throw your highs on, boom, now I got both headlights going, it looks sick. But overall, this bike handles great on the road. It handles well on the off-road. So I've taken it down a few decent trails now, and I've had zero issues when it comes to it. Like, it is a good handling motorcycle, just in every aspect. I'm trying to think, suspension compliance when you're going down the off-road trail, I don't think it's bad at all. I don't even think I did bottom out. I mean, I ride it pretty hard whenever I do this kind of stuff too. I'm not like one of the guys that just kind of goes out and lollygags. Like I'm jumping the bike, I'm bringing it, I'm doing what you probably shouldn't be doing on a big adventure bike, but it's just how I enjoy riding the motorcycle. Alright, next segment, we're gonna go into, here we go. Alright, we're back. That's my transition. Alright, so comfort and ergonomics. Motorcycle sits up straight. It's a good bike. Got a guy, damn, he's like tailing me too. I don't know why he's got to tail me so hard. But the bike's a sit up straight kind of motorcycle. There's really, hopefully it's not a cop. I haven't updated my plates yet. It is what it is. But the bike sits up straight. You got a good position for, I'm 6 feet tall, and you have a very good, comfortable position so you can hold on your handlebars. The seat plays in ergonomics big time. It is 1,565,000 more times comfortable than the KTM seat, and I can say that 10 times over. Because you know why? The seat's more comfortable by 1 million, whatever the hell number, 565. It's a bigger seat, it's a wider seat, it's not a hardened dirt bike seat. It's meant to crush miles, as this motorcycle's meant for. That's what these things do. They crush miles, they go off-road, they take you places where you can't normally go. So that's why I think this bike is great. Second thing, adjustable windshield. As I already said, I can adjust up and down very easily, one-handed. Honda, you should probably think about that. It's got heated grips, it's got heated seats. It comes with the DRL lights on it, which are, they're good if you're going slow off-road and stuff like that, which that's what they're there for. They're not spot beams, they're not supposed to go further down. It's got a rear heated seat. It's got all the creature comforts you could possibly want. I put my Ram mirrors on. I've had these forever. As soon as you buy any kind of brand of these mirrors, you're going to be putting those on every bike. The stock mirrors are just complete garbage on virtually every motorcycle. It's so, again, with ergonomics and comfort, I also kind of play into safety features with that, because you feel safe, you can see, you can ride longer. So we'll talk about the headlight. Headlights are great at night. These comes with LEDs all the way around. My 22 KTM did not, which is insane on a new motorcycle. Like, what the hell? Like, LEDs, what did that take you out of your budget? Can't you just charge $1 more for that extra package to unlock the cruise control? Holy shit. But LED lights all the way around. Very easy to work cruise control. You literally press a button, turn it on, boom, I'm sitting here, I'm on cruise control. This thing works every time, unlike my other motorcycle. And then dashboard's easy to work around. I think it's kind of clunky a little bit. The only reason I'm saying that is because there's no place where I can just put my miles per gallon. Why are the total miles of my motorcycle not in the bottom? Do I always need it? No, but I like to look at it for some weird reason. I like to see it. So then I have to go over like 3 dash screens to see how many miles are on my bike. So I'll go all the way up over here, which I should be at like a little bit below 2,000. I think 1,700 or something. I think it's 1,730. Yeah, so why do I have to do all that crap? I don't know. But again, more creature comfort. This tells you your PSI, which is what happened here. There I left and then it popped up. I was like, I should probably put some air in my tire. I had 20 PSI in my front tire, which I don't want to be that low just doing some street riding. So, but it's got your trip on there, so you know how many miles you've gone. You can have it set to different things. So you have it set to like this is my oil one where I know to shake it bike in, even though it already has one for that. And then this is like just what I leave it on. It's my miles per gallon. Jesus, it's windy, man. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is like blowing, to say the least. Again, the heated seat too on cold days, like today it's 55, 54, 55, so not too cold, but it's still nice to have a heated group heated seat. It makes a big difference when it comes to it overall. Alright, so let's move on. What do we got? We got seat position heated. We already talked about engine heat lights. Talked to you about the TFT. Overall finish of the motorcycle, so that's like one big key thing I would say that makes this bike significantly different than the KTM. The finish on this motorcycle is it's I would say it's night and day difference compared to, I don't know where I'm going right now, by the way. Oh, they have stop signs, just making sure. But the finish on this thing with like the backlit buttons, the button feel is a big thing. Like this thing has a nice little like almost not click but just push in where you know you've connected and pressed what button you wanted on it. So that's a big deal to it. The paint, the engine on this motorcycle is beautiful. Like when you sit down and you go to the KTM, it looks good. Yes, it's not a bad looking engine, but this Triumph looks beautiful. Like it is a great it just has a great looking engine, nice fits, finishes all the way around. I would say even the dang quick shifter looks kind of cool. But let's see what else. And I'm not trying just to compare everything to KTM. It's just the last bike I had, so it is what it is. Like I'm doing it. I'm not a professional. Why I swapped, I think I covered that in the beginning. Why I went from KTM to the current bike I have right now. I think it's kind of simple. It was just the issues I had, and then the whole thing with KTM and their cams, man. That I'm not gonna lie, that had me scared. Like I don't want to be in there. And now, like I sold that bike. Now I see them; they're like halfway, possibly going under. Like they might be looking for a buyout. I don't actually know. I haven't followed it too much since all this crap went down, but it's definitely a thought in the back of your mind if you're a KTM owner. Like you can't say it's not. Some people are like, I love the bike, I'll just replace the cam. Like, I don't think everyone has that kind of money where they just want to go and replace the cam, and I don't think everyone has the tool set or the know-how if you're doing it yourself. Like that stuff's kind of costly. You gotta crack the head open, and I mean, are you 100% sure nothing else was damaged? If you get in there and your cam's completely tore up, probably not. So then you end up taking it to the dealer, and there goes another $1,000 out of your wallet. Like I ain't trying to buy a boat or something. Like if I want to throw something in, so there's some money in something, I'll just buy a dang boat. Dude, it is so windy right now. But all right, I think that concludes the KTM slash hater slash my Triumph 900 Rally Pro review. If you guys are looking at motorcycles, don't listen to me. Go out, ride the bike, take some of this. Maybe this will help push you one way or the other. That's why I had the reviews for it. That's why I looked at, again, all the other YouTubers on YouTube and got my thoughts. I knew which bike I thought looked best. Like, that's a big thing. Sorry, one more thing. So when you go out in your garage and you see a bike that's ugly, like, you're not going to like it as much if you go out there and you see a bike that looks really clean. So just think about that too whenever you're purchasing bikes. Like, if it's a little bit damn, I thought I was getting ripped there. Big dog pulling out of there too. But if you go out and you see an ugly bike, it's just not going to give you the same butterly feel that you get with the other bikes. Alright, now we're seriously closing it. If you guys liked the video, please go on here, subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. Put a comment in here if you got a question about the motorcycle or a question about my KTM, whatever it is. Throw it in there. And hope you guys have a great motorcycle day. Stay on the rubber side, don't crash, do all that stuff. Alright, peace. I am out.